The Ghana Revenue Authority Workers Union has strongly condemned Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia assertion regarding the alleged harassment of taxpayers, labeling it as an attack on its members. On the screen, the statement that was released by the Workers' Union, some of the quotes, it says that we would like to state unequivocally that we the workers of GRA find the statement unfortunate and consider it as an attack on the efforts of the hardworking staff of the authority, which, if not discontinued, would incur the displeasure of workers, disrupt revenue collection efforts, and breed industrial disharmony. But let me leave it here and go onto the phone lines, and joining us by phone to clarify exactly what the flag bearer sought to put out to communicate during the meeting with the Chamber of Commerce and Industry last week is Dennis Miracle Abuaje, who is the Communications Director on Dr. Bawumia's campaign team. Miracle, thank you for your time. You're welcome. Good morning. Good afternoon to you.
Hi. Good afternoon.
Right. Yes, I hope all is well. So we've gone through the situation from last week in Dr. Bawumia's comments. And then, of course, at the end of the week, we received the response from the GRA Workers Union, who obviously, by the wording of their statement, are not the least enthused about the comments that have made. I've heard you trying to explain what Dr. Bawumia really sought to say, but that was before the statement came out. So how do you receive the statement from the GRA workers?
Well, I mean, I think that the Vice President, this is not the first time he's made this point. He's very clear in his mind that the GRA needs reforms in terms of how the compliance to some of these tax regimes are enforced, and that is not going to change. The GRA is a state institution with a mandate to collect revenue on behalf of government, and the business community, the traders, the SMEs, the Edum, KGTR, Abusiokai, Kaneshi, Makola traders are also citizens of the Republic, and we must ensure that the GRA is working in a conducive environment, and the business community also have that conducive environment to be able to work. At this point, it is not a vice president that is saying that businesses are harassed. It is GUTA. It is.
If you can position yourself properly, Miracles, I'm losing you, please.
I am saying that it is not the vice president that is even saying that the GRA is harassing the business community. It is GUTA. It is the traders that are speaking. It is the Edum traders. It is the KJTR traders. It is the Abusiokai traders. You know, it's the Kaneshi traders who are raising those concerns. And the vice president is saying, I agree with them. The fact that we have a mandate as government to collect revenue doesn't mean that we should put a gun to the head of the businessmen in the process of collecting the revenue. If we do that, we suffocate them, and we will not be able to give them the chance to even have their businesses grow so they can pay more. So all the vice president is doing is to advocate for a more innovative and creative ways of compliance and enforcement on the part of the GRA in the mobilization of revenue. And that is what all progressive countries and all progressive society do. Imagine that as you are having this, your midday news, you have a GRA official seated in your studio with a pen and a paper, taking every LPM that you play in the course of the news. That is harassment.
Is that what the GRA has been doing?
Of course. I mean, go and check the news. I have shared with you, I have your number, I've just shared with you WhatsApp, the links of complaints from GUTA and the Traders Association. And I'll give you some of the headlines. So over here you have on myjoyonline.com, GUTA charges members to resist GRA harassment. And then you have on the bftonline.com, GUTA condemns harassment by GRA officials. And then you have newsghana.com. Traders Advocacy Group are asking GRA to stop misleading Ghanaians and stop the harassment. This is not a vice president's words. This is the business community speaking.
Right. So Miracles, the business.
If I may just end. This is the traders speaking, and it is the interest of the country for us to hear the traders. It is in our interest to listen to the business people, especially when what they are asking for It's not something that cannot be done. All they are saying is that enforce compliance, collect your taxes and revenue, and let's do it a bit more innovatively without they feeling suffocated.
Right. So, I mean, when businesses complain, it is fair and it's understandable. But when the vice president, who is supposed to be the head of the economic management team, also comes to complain and makes such comments, it's also a different communication altogether. Do you agree?
The vice president was not complaining. Before you solve the problem...
in his comments, he did not echo what businesses were saying. He was saying what he has observed to the extent that he has called GRA to have a communication with them.
He was speaking with the businessmen, and I've just quoted to you what the business people have been saying since 2023. Annie, you and I spoke earlier. You remember somewhere late last year when GRA had their officials seated in shops at Abuti-Okai, shops at Edum, shops at KJTR, and then everybody kept saying that, listen, this is a cake, this is quack, this is outmoded. There are technologies, there are digital systems that you can use to ensure that these compliance are enforced. And that's what the vice president is advocating for. The vice president is rather asking that the GRA, and you know, forget the issues of union. Nobody is attacking the union or discussing issues of the union. The union are employees of the GRA. GRA itself has not spoken. And the GRA's responsibility is to ensure that they create that environment and provide those tools for the workers to be able to use those tools to enforce compliance with taxes without necessarily getting traders and businesses feeling harassed. That is how progressive societies work. And the vice president has been a lead advocate when it comes to issues of innovation and creativity in enhancing service provision within the public sector. And all the time before he does that, he would always highlight the problem. We're in this country, when the vice president 2 years ago highlighted the fact that we cannot continue to have a system where we cannot identify every Ghanaian and where they are, let alone have a system where we keep having children and giving birth, but we cannot track them. Today, about a week ago, the vice president launched the Ghana ID number at birth system. But before this thing was launched a week ago, he had already raised it 2 years ago. So the fact that he's talking about this now doesn't mean he's going to sleep. He is working with the GRA to ensure that innovative systems are put in place in order for compliance and enforcement to be done without necessarily having traders coming back to complain about harassment. And this is something I believe everybody should embrace.
Miracles of Budget, we're grateful for speaking to us here on Newsbeat. Thank you for the clarity put on the statement as made by the Vice President. Now,